Hi, I'm Andrew,
And I'm Larissa.
and we are Get Started Investing. We're going to just have a nice little conversation today about how to get started investing in our first episode today. So, yay. Excited. Um, we're going to talk today about financial education and how it's important to you and how it can shape your financial growth. We are a pair of uh, beginning investors. We've been investing for a little under a year together. This is my amazing wife.
And this is my husband, of course.
So we want to make sure that we are helping you, and in return, all we ask for is just a simple smash the like button for that YouTube algorithm. So why don't we get into today's main topic? We'll talk about how to increase your financial education. First thing we have to do, you got to find out where people are financially. There's no real way to begin until you know where you're at.
Yep, you gotta take an assessment of the damage, figure out exactly what's going on, what needs to be fixed, and once you have that down, that's when you can get your system together, that's when you can start your budget, that's when you can start down the path you want to go down.
So, in doing so, first off, there's a lot of tools out there for people to use these days.
And a lot of them are free, which is great.
Yeah, several that we use on a regular basis is like Credit Karma.
Yep, I'm a big fan of Credit Karma.
I use NerdWallet. We use that to check our credit scores, get our credit reports, find out if there's anything on there, whether it be a hard inquiry, if it's collections, or if there's changes in our credit balances. It gets reported there. It's a good way to find out a decent amount of the big picture of where you are financially. Because no matter where you're at in your financial journey, you're going to need that credit score.
Yes,
it's a
for sure.
very big part.
If you want to get approved for any loans, if you want to start investing in real estate, you need to know what your credit's looking like so you can figure out what you can and can't do.
And, a big thing with what's going on nowadays is a lot of people, they're automatically having their scores tanked, especially if they go into deference for their current mortgage.
Oh, yeah. That will knock off a bunch of points right there. Every missed payment, down, down, down.
So check out your credit score. That's going to be your first step. You got to find out where you are. The next step that we have is something that we actually struggled with for a while. I was the bad one on that one.
Yeah, I tried to tell him.
But that's making a budget. And once you find out where you're at, you got to find out where your money's going. So find out, how much are you spending on Netflix, McDonald's, how much is going to iced coffees and going to Starbucks.
Yeah, how much are you spending at the grocery store? How much are you spending on dinners out?
That was a big one for us.
Yep, way too many dinners out.
So once, what's your favorite way to start a budget?
So for me, maybe I'm not the most creative. I bank with Chase. I got on my Chase mobile app and I looked at several months worth of banking statements and I kind of wrote down reoccurring expenses, how much they were. I started with the stuff that's every month, like car payments, car insurance, mortgage, those things first. They're the easiest. Then payments that are going to debt, all the credit card payments. And then I got into the nitty gritty and looked at all the little frivolous charges like grocery store, drinks with friends, all of those subscription services that are so easy to sign up for a free trial and forget. I just found out today that I'm still signed up for Audible and I didn't know that. That's $16 a month going.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can find find your budget and set it up. For a long time, you were using the post note method,
I still use post-it notes sometimes.
which is hilarious. She'll sit there and she'll write out our entire budget on a single post-it note.
And then I keep it with me in my wallet, and I keep track of how much money we have and minus when we spend so that we don't go over.
Would you guys suggest that other people use something along the kin of an Excel spreadsheet?
Actually, you can if you're comfortable with Excel. A lot of people nowadays aren't. There's free apps out there though. There's Mint. There's also
Well, there's
Personal Capital,
Yeah, he
which
talked
is-
me into signing up for that one, and that helps a lot. I get a weekly email from them telling me how much I spent compared to last month and kind of a little breakdown. That's really nice.
one of the better apps that I found is You Need a Budget, but it is a paid app. I didn't really enjoy paying for it, so I stopped.
And when you're budgeting tight, you gotta cut out those little frivolous things. That's a great first step.
There's also QuickBooks and Quicken. They kind of the same. It is the same thing, but it can be used as budgeting software if you happen to have access to a copy of it. But let's say, for the benefit moving forward, you find out what your credit score is, what you have on your credit, and circling back to that real quick, because I did forget to mention, it doesn't matter what your credit score is or what's on your credit report.
It is
All of
never
that can be
hopeless.
fixed.
Yes.
It can all be fixed. Throughout further episodes, we're going to be going incredibly in depth into all of these. But forgive us for this first episode. We're just glossing over a lot of this. Stay tuned. We're going to go through it in depth. But once we find out where we are, once we make a budget, which allows us to live underneath our means, then we can start making a plan. Now, this for me is kind of where all the fun begins, because you can start working towards something. A big thing for us is we're working to pay off our credit card debt,
Yes.
and we're using a very odd kind of a different method than a lot of other people are preaching out there. A lot of people have heard about Dave Ramsey teaching his snowball method, and then there's the avalanche method. For those who don't know, the snowball method is when you take you take all of your credit cards, you pay the minimum balance on all of them, but for the smallest balance, you pay off as much as you can into it every month to pay it off as fast as possible. Then the next month you take all that money and put it towards the next credit card. The only problem is it's mathematically very inefficient. The avalanche method is the same way, but in reverse. You tackle your largest balance first and work your way down. Another method is to focus on the highest
The highest interest rate.
Yeah, highest interest rate, and work your way from highest interest rate to lowest. We've actually been working on a weird kind of a modified snowball, but with a technique called velocity banking. And this
that
is
sounds like this confusing, fancy thing. It is not really. It's if you have something like a cash value life insurance policy, or if you can get a home equity line of credit on your home, maybe it's something you can borrow against, get a loan that's a much lower interest rate than your credit cards, and then you take that loan money to pay off the credit card, and it saves you hundreds of dollars in interest, so you get to pay off your debt so much quicker.
we recently paid off a credit card, about $5,000 worth. Every month it was costing us about $120 to $130
Yeah.
in interest. We just got our statement today from our life insurance loan. If I'm not mistaken, it was $13 for interest?
12.
$12.
$11.60 if you want to be exact.
All right, $11.60 in interest off of a $5,000 loan on a life insurance policy. Now, the real benefit there is it doesn't report to the credit bureau.
Yep, as far as they're concerned, we paid off $5K of our credit card debt, and when the next update comes into Credit Karma, my score is going to go way up.
So there are techniques out, and we are planning a video talking specifically about velocity banking. Just a little teaser for you guys for the next few episodes. So the next step is once you figure out, hey, I'm in debt, I need to get out of debt. You figured out a plan, a method that works for you. For us, if everything stays exactly the same by January of 2 years from now,
Yeah, I think it's 2 years from now.
so that would be what, 2022?
Yeah.
We're going to be completely credit card debt free, and we'll add about $2,400 a month into our monthly budget
Yeah.
that we can use for other investments. We can put it towards real estate, or I can put it towards my investment portfolio. But that's when your plan really gets to take off. You get to find out what's your next step. And that is finding your asset, the type of asset class that you want to go into. In a little bit, we'll explain more about assets, but essentially the generalized information you need is an asset puts money into your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. So you want to start buying assets. Now, can you give me some different asset types?
Well, one that we started investing in, kind of a fun way to do our savings, we are buying bars of silver.
Mm-hmm.
So the value of silver, it kind of fluctuates up and down, but over time, always it goes up. If you look at the big picture, like a couple decades, always going to be going up. Now, if you just put the cash aside to sit there, it's going to just a little bit go down as inflation happens. So that's why we're doing the silver.
So about on average every year we hit about between 3 to 5% inflation. Last time we had a deflationary year was back in the mid 80s. So
way before we were born.
I checked, and the value of $100 when we were born was round about had almost $200 worth of purchasing power, or was it like 150?
I think it was like 160, 180, something like that,
Yeah.
almost.
Almost $200 worth of purchasing power towards today. So $100 back then was worth 150 to 160 today. Now, 30 years from now, that same $100 from today is only going to buy about half as much. The wonderful thing about an asset like silver is it's a store of value. It's going to hold it.
And it holds its purchasing power. You do not lose it.
One of my favorite asset classes is dividend yielding stocks. And with everything going on right now, it's not the best time in the world to be recommending stocks, but it's something I love doing. I wake up every morning and check my portfolio, even though I'm down several $100s, but so is everyone else, and it's going to pick back up.
Even
I'm not
though
worried about it.
it's hit its low point, and you know what? It is slowly coming back.
But that dividend portfolio every month pays me about $25 to $30, and it's going up every single month. I put about $200 a month into it. I've been kind of smart with some of my purchases, and my monthly dividends keep going up, 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 up.
And that's the goal here. You only want to pay attention to the dividends and get them paying you as much as possible. If you just look at what the stocks are worth, you're going to see a bunch of scary red numbers, and you are not going to like it. Don't pay attention to that. It's all about the dividends and reinvesting them, and when things are down, you're getting a discount price so you can buy more dividends.
So the thing about these, it's very easy to get in to the stock market or to buy silver. You can go to a coin shop in your local area and pick up a silver 1 ounce silver coin for like $23 to $25. You can go on M1 Finance, which is the platform I use. Link will be down in the description if you want to see my portfolio, and hit up my referral link. You can get started for as little as $100, and every month just put in just a little bit more, and over time it doesn't seem like a lot now, but it will grow.
Yes, it adds up quickly, and that is so important that you start saving right now. It is so easy to come up with a million excuses and reasons why you can't do it this pay, maybe next pay. No, it's gotta be right now. Even if you only have 10 or 20 bucks, put that aside. It adds up.
And the whole reason that we're building up these small assets is so in about 2 years from now we can start purchasing bigger assets like real estate. We definitely have plans to be purchasing multi-family units. That way we'll be able to collect rent. I have about a dozen videos on just real estate investment planned. I can't wait to get to that point though.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
that'll
exciting.
nice.
So once you kind of find your assets, you find the plans that you want to achieve, the next step and the final step is you really have to focus on increasing your financial education. It really is your foundation. Bad foundation means a house is going to crumble in on itself. So be a strong house, build a good, strong foundation. Now, when it comes to getting financial education, there's so much stuff out there. We got started by attending
It was a real estate seminar.
Now, we paid, what, $1,200 to go to it, and they basically taught us wholesaling. You
Yeah.
don't have to put out a bunch of money to increase your financial education. There's YouTube, there's biggerpockets.com, there's all these resources out there for real estate, for stocks, for bonds. All of these people trying to sell you a course, chances are the information's already out there for free. This channel is subscribed to a bunch of financial channels that I've been watching for the past year, and it's greatly helped me. So if you want, go check them out. They'll tell you a bunch of the same stuff we're going to tell you, but I mean, we do it a little differently. We like to have a bit more of an intimate conversation.
Hopefully, we can also provide some insights, some challenges that they might have not run into. We
Yeah.
might come up with some ideas that they never thought of.
Well, I mean, like, you don't really hear velocity banking coming out from Graham Stephan, but, you know, these are just little things that we can probably add. We've just found them. But the main benefit is you get a chance to walk through this journey with us, and we'll have these little chats where we can sit here and just tell you about what's going on in our life, our successes, our failures, and honestly, we'll tell you exactly, how we found ourselves in our financial situation. We'll go over how exactly we set up our budget. We'll tell you all about the plans that we've made and how we found the different asset types that we found. And we'll also work on different ways that we've been increasing our financial education, because we're learning right alongside you. So I definitely think that a lot of people start out this way, but you didn't start out with this book. You actually started out with a Bigger Pockets book.
You handed me the Burr method for real estate investing.
But I want to introduce the book that I got started on, and it's right here. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is considered by many like the very beginner holy grail. So we're going to have an Amazon link down in the description. If you want to pick up this book, read it for yourself. I cannot recommend it high enough. It's actually on Larissa's reading list. It's her next book.
Yeah.
So, our wonderful cameraman Rand has been flashing us that we're running a little bit out of time for today's episode. So, we just want to let you know, if you enjoyed the video and you've been with us this long, please go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can be part of our notification squad, get notified every time we post a video. I've been Andrew, and it's been wonderful talking with you.
Yeah. And I've been Larissa. I'll see you next time.
Thank you and goodbye.